This is question 2 from the November 2018 standard level mathematics E-assessment for MYP, and we're given a group of 120 students from M1 and M5 who choose their favourite free time activity from sport, gaming and interacting on social media. We've got information on the table. So for example, 46 M1 students prefer to play sport, 24 M5 students prefer to interact on social media. There's a total of M1 students of 72, a total of 48 M5 students, and we're told 120 altogether. So let's see what the question is asking. So part A, a student is selected at random from M5. Write down the probability that the student chose gaming as their favourite activity. So part A, so M5 students chose gaming, so 16 students in M5 chose gaming. And we're picking from all the M5 students, which is a total of 48. So we get 16 over 48, and we can simplify that to 1 over 3. And of course your calculator will do this for you. You put in 16. Here I put in 16 over 48. We'll bring it up as a decimal, click the fraction button, and it'll bring it up as a third. Okay, looking at part B. Okay, so examine the following statement. MYP Year 1 and MYP Year 5 are equally likely to choose gaming as their favourite activity. And we have to examine that, so let's get the information back up. Okay, so here's part 2B. I've just put it in a separate page to make it easier to see. I've also got my answer from part A, and we're now looking at an M1 student is equally likely to choose gaming as an M5 student. So let's look at the probability of an M1 student choosing gaming. So an M1 choose gaming. Well, there is 16 M1 students. Okay, so even though it's the same number that choose gaming, however, there is 72 students to pick from. So we can say it is not equally likely as there are 72 M1 students in total, opposed to a total of only 48 M5 students. So for this, you get a mark for working out, something like the probability, but you need to actually make the statement that it is not equally likely because we're looking at different numbers of total students. Okay, let's look at then the part C. So we're told a student is selected at random from the whole group. Determine the probability this student did not choose playing sport. Okay, so I'll just put this again on a separate page to make it easier to see. So we want the probability of a student from the whole group of them not playing sport. So how many do not play a sport? Well, there is 120 altogether, 120 students in total. How many of those play a sport? Well, there's 54 of them total that play a sport. So if I subtract these, 120 take away 54, so 120 in total, take away the number that play sport, that leaves me with the students that do not play sport. Echo F54 66. So the probability of a student not playing sport is equal to 66 out of the total 120. And again, we can simplify that. (0.55) or 11/20. Any questions on question 2, just let me know.